Well, we're going up the ramp. And I wanted to show you along the way. You'll notice in there concrete. All the little shells, the oyster shells. Everything down here is that. Even the stones that coquina that was naturally formed instead of just regular sandstone. It's all pieces of coral, oyster shells, seashells, because all of this, of course, was underwater a long time ago. We are above the bakery now, and you'll notice the roof slants in. What they do is they funnel all that rainwater, and they get gallons and gallons of it, and they save that for drinking and cooking and such. It's a very ingenious method. Very good idea. Now, we're going to go over and look at some of the cannons. They don't have a lot of cannons because, like I said, this was not finished before the war was over. But they do have some. And they could defend up to 3 miles in either direction to keep this part of the U.S. safe. Well, I wanted to show you the view from above. There's double walls, and this runs all around the whole fort with places that it joins up to allow you to go back into the main area of the fort all the way around. This is so it's defendable from any position, and also all those corridors and alleys under the ground, very cool. I think necessary on very hot days. There's the cannons. They go on swivels. They are huge. Absolutely huge. I can only imagine the sound when these were fired. And there's somebody for scale. And they have... It shows you here. An officer would tell them where to put them, where to aim it, and then they would do that. They would push them, and they may have used mules as well, because these are heavy. Well, here's another example of how they collected their well water. See, they wouldn't have any dug wells here because they have the saltwater intrusion, because you've got the bay right there. Very important area to defend if the ships come in, because over there, I'll show you in a minute, is where they come in from the ocean. And you can see in the cement here how they've not only used the oyster shells and such, but they've also used bricks, leftovers, anything they could find. They were resourceful. They didn't have a lot that was brought to them, so they had to make do with what they had. And here you can see where the inlet goes out to the ocean. So this is where all those ships would be coming in that they would have to defend us from. Here's a close-up of some of the wall structure. You can see they've got the shells here. They do have some stones. This is called tabby. And it's commonly used for walls during the 1800s, 1700s. As you make in here, the wind here feels absolutely wonderful. Nice beach too. The officers were allowed to bathe 3 times a week, and you can bet that they probably preferred this. Very nice. Oh, I want to go there. All right. This makes me laugh. I mean, I know they have to plug the guns up so that the rainwater and when there's storms, the salt water doesn't get in there. But if you look, doesn't that look like a giant cork? And it'll just pop out on a string when they shoot the cannon. That's with a giant pop. That's all I can think of when I see that. Well, here's the surrounding area. Obviously, it was all wild then, say most of the trees like that. You can see the gift shop in the distance there. But this is a fairly large fort. The Fort Matanzas over in St. Augustine, Florida is so much smaller than this. Alright, going down. And here we've got another area for sleeping, living in. Assignments here. 3 large bunks. 2 people asleep on each at least. Our table. Of course, a nice fireplace area. And the president and vice president at the time. And the wood floors, which I'm sure have been refinished. Alright. Looks like you can get up to the ceiling there. Well, thank you for joining me at Fort Clinch. Of course, it's very warm here, so I'm a sight to see. But I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. A little history here. And to find out more about this, just go online, look at Fort Clinch in northern Florida, and you'll get a lot more information. They have a place, a gift shop with restrooms. You can get snacks, lots of parking, and there's even some nature trails and a small campground too. So if you're interested, if you're gonna camp here, I would probably make reservations because they always go fast, especially in the winter when all the snowbirds come down. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Let's see what else we can find.